Alright guys, I realized I had to redo a video I put up about 10 years ago about budget guns, right, for budget guns. So, you know, after watching or looking at my old content, I'm like, man, some of this is outdated. In the old budget gun recommendation, I was recommending the Ruger P95, which, solid gun, great gun, but discontinued, hard to find, right? So that's not going to work. I was saying, you know, if you wanted something on a budget, shit hit the fan, good hunting rifle, self-defense. I mean, well, high-powered rounds are probably not good for, you know, home defense if you got neighbors, but it's better than nothing. Especially if there's some SHTF, better to have something at home than nothing. But I recommend Mosin a gun. Man, I see them $69, $79 in gun shops just sitting there. Now, Cabela's, saw some for $350, all beat up, better condition one, you know, nice one, about $500, just under 500. Tax would have got it there, but I'm like, nah, you know, that's not going to work. Not for what we're, you know, not for self-defense or, you know, just to have around SHTF. Also, you know, about 10 years ago, ARs are pretty expensive, man. Now, nowadays the prices come down, the qualities went up, but back then, pretty pricey. So I'm like, you know what? You can't get an AR, you can't afford an AK, get an SKS. Good semi-automatic rifle. It still is, but you look at the prices on that. You look at $450 online if you buy it off somebody. Arms List or Texas Gun Trader, about $350, maybe if you're lucky, you find one every now and then. More like $450, sometimes up to $5. Right? Again, there's a lot more you can do with that money. Not that there's anything wrong with an SKS, but you know, again, you can do more with that money, especially if you're on a budget. So, let's get over my new 5 recommendations. Right? Keep it short and sweet. List of 5. Now, as many of you know, it may not come to a surprise, I'm all for High Point. It's an American company, sells decent guns on a budget, right? It puts a gun in the hands of people who probably wouldn't be able to afford one otherwise. Now, I always, for all these, the handguns, you know, it's 9mm across the board here. They're not all handguns, but for 2 handguns and the 1 carbine, I'd say 9mm because of the affordability of the round, right? So we're going to go with the C9, right? I did a video review on High Point using my C9. It's called, is High Point a good option for personal protection or self-defense? It is the best review you're going to find out there. And I'm not saying that just because I did it. I mean, I watched video after video after video after video, and I would write down the pros and cons, right? What people would say, this or they like that, or they don't like this or that. And I weighed in because I own one, and I'm like, okay, I can agree with this, or I don't agree with this, and I put it all into one. So a total breakdown, basically, of the pros and cons, you know, and, you know, put it up against other guns, as far as thickness goes, stuff like that. You can see, well, you know, some of it's not really warranted, some of the criticism. But anyway, it's the best review of High Point you're going to find out there. I'll put it in the description bar. You can check it out. Now, there's basically a Gen 2 of the C9 coming out. Mini upgrades. It has a rail. It has a threaded barrel. And it has a mount on top if you want to put optics. I'm not really for putting optics on handguns, but you know, if that's your cup of tea, it's ready for it. No custom work, but I would recommend not buying that sucker right away. I never recommend buying a gun right as it hits the market because there's always a couple bugs in anything. Any gun, right? I've always said that. So let others buy it, let them do the reviews, see what's, you know, any issues it might have, or maybe it has no issues, you know, you never know. But see any issues that it might have, look at other people's videos, look at forums, and if there's no issues, pick one up. If there are, you wait till they smooth out whatever kinks it has, right? And then you go pick that sucker up if you want. Now, because there's a new one coming out. I see the old C9 as flooding the market. There's going to be a ton of them hitting the used market because everybody, or not, but many people decide to sell their old C9 and buy the new 9mm high point. So that means tons of them hitting the market, right? That means you can get them even cheaper. I bought mine for $80 at a pawn shop. I mean, I would be looking at that price pretty much, you know, in pawn shops if you see them. When the new one comes out, maybe a little less. I mean, you probably wouldn't get much if you sold it. If there's a new one coming out and there's a flood of the market, but you can pick one up. Who knows? Put a couple aside, SHTF. I mean, if there's any issue with that gun, you call up the factory. They'll send you parts. It's no problem. If there's an issue with the gun, you mail it in. They fix it for free, mail it back to you. You even get a magazine for your trouble. So, you know, that's going to be a good way to go. When you get the new one, when they work out the kinks, it's got higher capacity, or you buy a used one on the market for next to nothing. All right, so that's the first. The second one, the Smith & Wesson SD9VE. Again, 9mm because of the affordability of the round, and you know you can actually go out and shoot it. Decent stopping power. I can't say enough about it. It's a good budget gun, right? Entry level gun. 16 round capacity with tons of features for the blue collar guy. There's a decent amount of aftermarket parts too. The only recommendation I would make after you get familiar with it, because it's for entry level guys, you know, but if you just need something on a budget, then you can go ahead and upgrade it. But I would say an Apex trigger, because this trigger it comes with out of the box, it's stiff. It's a heavy trigger, right? And it's meant to be that way because it's for concealed carry, and it's also for entry-level shooters, you know, somebody new to guns. So they don't want them all hyped up on adrenaline and accidentally pulling the trigger when you really shouldn't, right? Now, you shouldn't have your finger on the trigger unless you're ready to shoot in the first place. But again, it's meant for people new to guns, so, or entry-level gun. But yeah, I mean, get used to the trigger. Learn to shoot it, get to know your gun, then upgrade that trigger with the Apex trigger properly, right? Good way to go. Another one, great for home defense, 12 gauge, right? Now, I recommend the Maverick, the Mossberg Maverick 88. It's basically the same as the Mossberg 500. They're both Mossberg guns. Most of the parts are interchangeable. A few differences. I think the top is tapped for like a scope, which, I mean, it's a shotgun. You don't need a scope on it. You got the trigger is located on the side, kind of like a pellet gun, which I like myself personally. I never had any issues with mine, but I liked it on the bottom there, like a daisy pellet gun or something. I prefer that myself. And man, can't remember the other. I think it was the insides were some of them were polymer. I think the frame or something, but one was steel. But there's only three main differences between the two. But that's a hell of a way to go, right? Now, it's the 88. There's three basic types they make, three models. There's the bird barreled one. The barrels are interchangeable on the 5-round and the bird barrel. Same thing, just one is a long barrel for bird hunting, and the other one is a 5-round security model. Right, those barrels are interchangeable, but I would just go with the security model. It's for home defense, right? The long bird barrel may be a bit, you know, for home defense. You don't want something too long. But what I recommend is the harder to find 7-round security model shotgun. 20-inch barrel, 7 rounds in the tube. It holds one in the pipe if you need. But it's a proven shotgun design. You can get them, they're like new, $270. I was at Cabela's. I saw one for $180. I came this close to picking it up, and I'm like, man, you know, what am I going to do with that? I already have enough shot. I guess, you know, you can have as many as you want, but I'm like, nah, I really don't need it, you know. My wife's going to get on me about like, why'd you buy that? I really don't need it right now. I don't even get time much to go out and to the range as much as I want to as is, much less buy another gun that I can't really use. I don't have time for, so I left it. But used, you can get them. I'm guessing, you know, under $200, around there somewhere. New, $275 at the moment, right? So that's the third. Number 4, the high point carbine, right? Again, chambered in 9mm, because the popularity of the round, you know, that's going to have some punch to it. That 9mm out of that long barrel, right? Low recoil follow-up shots. You know, you can afford to spend some time at the range, right? The high point pistols get a little bit of crap, and that's mainly because they're magazines. But the carbine rifles, man, those people love them, right? Low cost, high quality, very accurate little carbine, right? It's been a strong seller since they were first introduced. Many aftermarket parts for that, right? You got 15-round magazines, which I don't recommend because of void of warranty. There's the Red Ball 20-round magazine. There's foregrips, lights, lasers, muzzle brakes, compensators. There's hoe grips, slings, scopes. Many other optics, right? Bipods, all kinds of stuff you can do. The magazine couplers on the stock to hold magazines on there. I mean, there's tons of aftermarket parts for these things. And it's a simple design, blowback design. It's there. All the high points are meant for plus P. So that's the, you know, the C9 I was talking about earlier, or these guys. They're all rated for plus P rounds. And if I remember correctly, back in the day, there'd be some smaller police departments that couldn't afford to outfit their officers with more expensive rifles, so they adopted the high point carbine, right? So that's a good way to go. Proven little carbine rifle, very inexpensive. You're looking at $350 or less. I mean, that's the most you're gonna pay. You can find a little cheaper used, but very, very accurate little shooters, reliable little thing, right? Now, number 5. In the past, I've recommended an SKS for a good budget semi-automatic rifle, right? However, the price of SKS is going up. They used to be, when I first started doing these videos, about $250, $270. Now, you're looking at, $350 if you're lucky. More like $4 something, right? Up to high 6s somewhere. So, you know, for a budget gun, it's a good rifle, but it's not a budget rifle anymore. And there's more modern rifles you can pick up for cheaper, right? There's going to be somebody, oh, I'm from Canada, you know. Or they're going to say, I got it for this much, and how the hell did you get it at that price? Oh, I'm Canadian. Okay, well, yeah, well, down here, you know, we can't get them that cheap. We can get something better, in my opinion, cheaper, which I'll go over here in a second. And also, they're going to be some good old boy, oh, you're a fool. I wouldn't pay that much. I got it from a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy who, I got it from, like, okay, yeah, you know, not all of us know somebody that has one sitting around that want to sell, you know, get thrown over a barrel to sell it at a real cheap price, right? Most of us, you know, unless you really owe someone a favor or you're a friend or something, family member, you're not going to, okay, here, take it at this price. It's basically throwing you over a damn barrel, right? Getting cornhole, no. But the better way would be the AR-15. Making your own, right? The prices really come down. You can get a good deal at a pawn shop. Budget rifle, of course, you know what you're getting into. You might have to take it to a gunsmith, so, you know, that's kind of iffy if you get it real cheap. Yeah. But the prices really come down, right? The cheapest way to go would be to build your own. You go to some gun shop, get a lower, right? Maybe like an Anderson lower. $30 on sale, $50 if they're not on sale, right? And then you go to like Palmetto State Armory website, buy a mil-spec kit with the upper already assembled, mailed to you for $279, right? Or you can get the Ceratec website. They have a mil-spec kit. I would recommend you get the upper assembled. You can save $15, but it's going to cost you more than $15 for the tools that you're going to need to put it together. So it's better just to get it assembled if you're going to make just one, right? And the Ceratec, they come with M-Lock or key mod, shipped for about just over $300, $310, something like that, right? Unless you plan on building a few again, buy the upper already assembled. from Ceratec. Palmetto State Arms, they had the whole kit already assembled upper, $279, right? And that's free shipping. So that's a hell of, two good ways to go. And then you just take your lower, your Anderson lower, and put it together. The parts kit, it's easy to do. I recommend, having like a cardboard box or something if you haven't done it before. Springs fly off, they're gonna, you're doing it in a little box with some light. You'll be fine. And there's tons of videos on YouTube. I can't load anything myself because of the new YouTube rules, of course. But there's lots of good stuff already out there that you can make use of. And by doing this, you would have a mil-spec AR, right? And, there's nothing wrong with that. Your basic, reliable AR for less than $350, right? And that's like taxes and everything. Of course, a mag. I mean, that's everything, right? You can probably upgrade it and work on it. I recommend this because it's cheaper, number one. Number two, by putting it together yourself, you'll learn more about it. You'll be able to maintain it. Some of these guys that go out and buy an AR, shoot the damn thing and never clean it up. I mean, it's gonna break down on you. It's better to know how to work it. If you know the innards, then there you go. You can clean, maintain, and you're gonna have it working for a lot longer because it's a piece of machinery. It's gonna break down, right? Everything's gonna break down eventually. But by building your own, you get to know the internal workings of it, and you can maintain it. You get it for cheaper as well. So anyway, that's my list. I'll leave you some helpful links in the description bar, guys. But that would be the 10-year updated budget gun review or list for home defense or personal protection. All right, that's it for me, guys. I'm out.